what we've built is a massive improvement from what a lot of people have to use day to day when they're using systems that support learning. The fact that you can search in a Google-like way, is very different to how a lot of platforms currently work and present results. But really, the next step, as far as we can see, is actually looking at how you aid that instructional design process, regardless of who's doing it, of course, because it could be a manager. But the process of thinking about, right, I've got a topic, and I need to think about what if I break this down into sensible sub-skills or competencies that sit under a kind of primary topic of learning. What components should that journey consist of? So I can give an example of that. So for example, if I was curating to support my team to be more productive, okay, so how do I positively influence them to be more productive? So I need to think about, well, what are all the skills that are required in order to support them to be more productive in a positive way, of course. So, we can think about, right, I need to be able to effectively communicate. I need to be a good leader. I need to lead by example. I need them to want to follow me. I need to problem solve because I'm definitely going to come up against some challenges here. And then there's other elements such as, collaboration or time management and so on and so forth. And the list goes on. So at the moment, the way that the search results are presented when you're using complete curation, you get many different examples which are all highly relevant to your search term, and then you can drill down, so you can be more specific, and then you start to compile your list of learning assets. And again, you can filter on, video or audio or duration, language, all the rest of it. But actually, where we see this going is, moving it forward in terms of, not coming to this task with a blank sheet of paper. So, okay, I need to help my teams be more productive, right? What components? So actually, we want to suggest those to you. And we can use that using, OpenAI and GPT. So we can ask GPT, right, what are all the skills you need to be able to do this thing really well as this person or this role, right? And then, okay, so now we can think about, well, how would you introduce that thing, that sub skill? So, as we said, problem solving to a learner if you were designing a learning journey to support that. So then you get your introductory text. And now that we've got our sub skills and our introductory text, what content would you recommend for each of those sub skills? So in a way, what we're doing is we are speeding up the recommendation and the creation of that whole instructional design process, ready for the human who knows best to come in and verify all of the recommended headings, sub-skills, text, and content that's being recommended. And of course, the human has full control. They can regenerate, ask for additional recommendations, change the order of everything. But the point being is that rather than them sitting down with that blank piece of paper, they get that the initial recommendations from the machine, who has that huge corpus of data to call upon. But the important part is that actually, when the content is being recommended, that's in full control of the organization, because it's recommending the content from their libraries and from the web if they want, or it could just be their libraries. It's entirely up to the person that's driving the machine.
Yeah, one of the things I really am hoping will shift, and I think that obviously, you talked about some of the technologies that are part of that shift, in terms of people's understanding of how AI can actually assist in some of the tasks that previously maybe they hadn't considered that could be helped. But I think one of the things that could change is how organizations think about their data, how they think about, the need to provide access to the data, and maybe the governance around data that they've had to date, needs to evolve in that thinking. Because I think still most stuff, even what you're describing there, is a reaction to to something. You know, the trigger is something's changed, something's happening. You know, there's a fire drill around this particular challenge in the business. So it would be incredible to think about how the technology could evolve with the access to the data, you know, of what's going on in the business to actually predict or suggest things that you could be curating for before they happen. You know, that's
Yes.
one thing I think I could imagine, you know, fast forward a few years, you know, then it's going beyond just helping you with a task to actually, you know, identifying or trying to identify problems before they even sort of, you know, get hold in an organization, for example. So, yeah, I think it's an incredibly exciting time, obviously, to be in the technologies that we're in. And, you know, for the people who are using these technologies, again, I think, you know, this is really changing how some of these tasks can be performed, or even making tasks that weren't possible, you know, much more achievable.
Yeah, and increasing usefulness and output of, you know, the learning that an organization can give to their workforce. And you know, you think about the generations who are coming into the workforce today, you know, and what their perception is of, you know, the sort of organization they want to work for. And you know, all of the research and the studies that are released now all talk about, you know, the career prospects, you know. So and career prospects and learning functions go hand in hand. So what opportunities will I have to learn? How will I be supported to develop within this organization? You know, and what we're talking about here is aiding that function within an organization to respond better, not just to the people that are working there today, but to be adaptable enough for the people that are coming into the workforce in the next, you know, few years.
It's been a fascinating conversation, Michelle. Really enjoyed the chat, and yeah, looking forward to more of this in the future.
And to working together with our current integration.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Duncan.
Thanks, Michelle.
Bye.